Amsoil, synthetic lubricants for your car, truck, van, SUV, boat, motorcycle, tractor, bulldozer. Folks, if you don't want it to wear out, put Amsoil in it. I'm going to go a little further here during their promotion, I guess is what you want to call it. It's commercial. I want to make sure that the sponsor gets mentioned. But I'm going to tell you what we done. We had a customer had a new 3.5 EcoBoost motor put in an F-150. And we got done with it. We had to put break-in oil in it. Now, this is the 3.5 V6 with the twin turbos. You know, the very common engine in F-150s. Have been since around 2011, 2012. Well, this one got a brand spanking new engine. And we put the break-in oil in it. And told him to put 3,000 miles on it. Then we'd put the Amsoil in it. So he did. He brought it back. And, you know, one of the things he was complaining about, he said the engine just seemed so much rougher than his old worn-out motor. That's kind of embarrassing. You know, we just put a new motor in it. And he said his fuel economy was horrible. And I said, there's no check engine light on or anything like that. I said, you're just in the middle of a break-in period. I said, we'll put the Amsoil in it and we'll see what happens. We put the Amsoil in it. And I'm going to tell you, he come back about 2 weeks later. He said, he goes, you all didn't do anything else to this truck except change my oil? I said, I'm serious. That's all we done to it. We put the Amsoil 530 in it because it was a twin turbo. And he sat there and he come out and he showed us on his dash. He says, when he goes, I get around 580 miles to a tank of fuel because he had a 36-gallon fuel tank. He goes, and before I had this, after I got this new motor in it, he goes, I'd fill it up and it'd say 540 miles to empty. He goes, and the best I could figure it, he goes, I was only getting about 15 miles a gallon. He goes, now you all put this Amsoil in there, and he goes, let me just tell you. He goes, now I am getting 640 to 650 miles to empty every time I fill it up. And I got to figure, and I said, so you were getting 540 with the conventional oil in your engine? He goes, yeah. And, you know, we figured that up. Now, this is taking the conventional oil that was in there for break-in purposes and putting the Amsoil in this engine. Now, I want you to listen to this. It went to, well, he was getting about 640 miles to empty. So we went and we figured this compared to what he was getting before we put the Amsoil in it. Do you know that was almost a 17% increase in fuel economy just by changing that man's oil? 17% fuel economy. Better because we put Amsoil in it as opposed to the regular conventional oil we were using for break-in purposes. You think about that. 17%. That's not count. Can you imagine an engine that has that much friction taking place inside of it? That the Amsoil literally just friction-free the engine is what basically happened. And as far as his idle quality goes, it is as smooth. I'm telling you, you can't tell the engine is running in gear with the AC on. It is as smooth, you wouldn't know there was an engine in that truck just by changing his oil to Amsoil. And, you know, I got to thinking about that. Most people that don't know anything about engine oil or how it works or anything like that will drive a vehicle like that all of its life and just take that as being normal, you know. And then, of course, 150,000 miles, they need a motor anyway. But to think of that type of an improvement over changing your oil, I'm like, that is absolutely outstanding. I made it a point to tell you.